And here we are, this Baruch, let me bring up this Zohar Chadash. Now, if I didn't say it before, then we should be saying that what is the Zohar Chadash and what way is it different from the Zohar? And this is how it appears to me, that the Ramdal, Rabbi Moshe de Leon, I think in a printing press in Italy, in Mantua, which they call Mantoba, that's what I think, published the Zohar. That publication, the original publication of the Zohar, perhaps he edited, it's really a lot of mysterious things here, but you could see that the Zohar is running extremely, extremely deep. Some of it was printed and some of it was not. There were little excerpts here and there. So in certain subjects, we have a Zohar Chadash. It's like an addition. It's like an additional text, but it's Zohar. And so now, today is the 6th day of the 9 days. So it is Thursday. This is the year 5785. And we are in, it just looks like, my mother used to use the phrase drelt, which I really don't know what it meant, but it means trouble. If you listen to what the world is saying right now, the world is really, in regard to the Jewish people, are once again drelt. We have no vision, no place to go forward. We really have to, really need strong leadership. So God should bless us all. But here we're going to learn the Zohar Chadash. The Zohar Chadash is going to be on Eichah. Zohar Chadash, Megillas Eichah. This is the mourning for all that we have lost. You can hear the hatred around us is starting to scream. The Arabs are very good at screaming. It's one of the things they do best. Outrageous gangs of people screaming hate. That's their conquest style. Now we're going to come over here. Let's see if I can get this up nice so that I'm happy with everything. And we'll learn here for a little while. Now, in particular here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, so we're going to finish up tomorrow. It's going to be, I think, the last day that we will be learning on the 9 days. So therefore, I kind of figure, well, let's come over here and do a little bit extra. So here comes the Zohar. We have the translation of the Matak Medrash. Let's see what it says. So we're talking about how the Nachash was talking to Chava. Now, the Zohar has a secret about how it's actually working in the spiritual world. And how the Nachash is really, there's a feminine aspect to the Nachash, has 2 parts. So the part that really seduces a woman is the female aspect, which is the aspect of sexuality that the female exudes, which is tremendous, tremendous power. It actually, if used in the wrong way, it's very destructive. If used in the right way, it builds families. So this is what the Nachash, apparently it's all of the same thing is needed. It just has 2 different sides to it that are totally incompatible. So Adshanis Patasa, and he spoke to her through, I say, this female aspect, and she became seduced. V'yahavat. So this word v'yahavat, he says, the Roshi tables is a yad. So I'll read the matuk, it'll help us. V'yahavat vav tav arba zimnin. V'nasta, the combination of these 2 letters, the vav and the tav, came out 4 times. V'apiko la'oz mem la'arba sitrin. V'savavu es oz mem l'daled ruchosencho. So it surrounds the letter mem on its 4 sides. Now, I'm not sure what this means. He says this letter Vav, which represents the male force, and I guess the Taf, I think we said before, represents, it's the number 400, which is the same as 4, which refers to Hashem, to Malchus. So he said again, V'savavu es os mem, that these 2 letters Vav and Taf surrounded the word mem, the daled b'chosecho, all around it, north, south, east, and west. Dechsiv kamoshakasav vatikach mipirio. Here are the actual phrases. He's taking the vav as the first letter. Vatikach mipirio. Vatochel vatiten. And you should eat from it, and you should give it. Gam leisha, down to your husband. V'tipachna ene shenehem, and the lights, here's the vav again, opened up, tipachna ene shenehem, they both were able to see themselves. Ha arba zim, that is, that they were naked. V'ha arba zimnim vav taf, so you see in a combination that you have vav and taf, vav and taf, vav and taf, 4 times. V'zimnim vav taf, hare kan oz is vav taf arba pamim. Malamed shesivavu la'oz mem, to teach you that they surrounded the letter mem la'arba tzdadim v'hamem be'emsa. That's what they did. They completely surrounded it with these pasukim. And as a result of that, the mem, which really represents the womb of Ima, surrounds it. Harina aset sirif movis. So it's the vav and the tov are now surrounding all around the letter mem, b'kol citrin of all of its different sides. B'kol hadalad stadin. Ratzon lomar. He says like this, Kadei Sharabina, which is the secret of the letter mem. Again, it's the concept of a womb with an opening in the lower left side. Hislavish badin mikol dalid dadeho. It becomes because all of these things, and we'll come back and look at it again. Let's see what the words were again. The din that is represented by these phrases. Let's see, the ksiv, the tikach, the period. He said that itself is one din. V'tochel, and she and ate. And then it says, v'titem gam le'isha. Then she also gave it to the man. All of these 3 things are the surroundings of a terrible, terrible din where she is going the wrong direction. And then finally, tipachna ene shenehem, that they opened up, both of their eyes were opened. In other words, they saw their nakedness and they realized that they had fallen into the urge that has to be controlled. Ha abed zimnim vav tov. So he says that's what's around, and this is what he says. Daled tzadehot, 4 different sides. It's surrounded by these mistakes. The hind of vav tov. He says the hind of vav tov mitzad chesed shebedaron. Now he's going to go over the directions. Vav tos the tov mitzad hagavura shebetzifon. Let's call this the vertical axis, north and south. Vav Tov Mitzad Teferes Sheba Mizrach, which is on the east. This is going to be the horizontal aspect. Vav Tov Mitzad Malchus Sheba Ma'arav. So Vakan Lo Heshiv Vatira. Now he's not asking that phrase where we said Vatira, where he has a Vav and a Tov there. Shehu Maisa Harishon Bariya, which is the first thing that they said that she saw it. Why wasn't that included? Why wasn't that 5 instead of 4? Because looking at something is not such as the same thing as the other things. The other things, what was is that she took the fruit. She actually did a maisis. So he wants to say that seeing is not the same thing as taking. Taking is much more physical. V'tachal, she ate it. V'titem gam le'isha, v'tipachna ene shenehem, and as a result of that, then the eyes were open. Or maybe they wanted their eyes to be open. They wanted to look at each other. Kama da'at amar, like you say like this, ki ola moves b'chalonenu, that death rose up into our windows. Now, the question is what chalonenu mean? Chalon is a window. Pirish mibagam hamaisim atachtonim, because of the flaw of the receptacle. What is that? It's Hashem is mashpia tova to us all the time. But we ourselves got into this side lust. We got into that lust. And it took us over. It's this real sultan. It takes us over. All Mavis, then Mavis came up, that says Koach, and what does death do? This is a very interesting thought. He says, the says Koach l'samach mem, to give strength to the samach mem, shehiha cholon shalonu, that should become our window. This is how we look at the world. Ki mi nasan lanu chelik bo, who gave us a portion in that? Im lo ma'asenu. If it's not what we did, our deeds open it up for the vision that we have. Now, I'm still not understanding 100% what he means by cholon. The words of the word, he says, let's read it again. Pirish mipagam maisim. So all those 4 different things that she did, and of course she is an aspect of him. Adam Rishon is male and female. So the female aspect of Adam Rishon is looking at the world, always looking out at the most dangerous parts of the world. This is true of women in general. They protect their men. On the other hand, they're exposed. So he pirit mebegama maisim atachtonim alom mavis. Mavis came out. The seis akoach the samach mem came out. And what did it do? The Mavis gives tremendous strength to the Samach Mem. Why? Because we all know once this is completed and the Vavs and the Tofs, which are the sins, joined together with the Mem, it's the power of death. Everybody's morbidly afraid of death, but it's coming to all of us. Some younger, some older, some very old, some very young. And all in between. We're not destined to stay in this world. It's a tremendous fear. It's the ultimate fear of men. So the Seis Koch, and this gives power to the Samach Mem, who brings depression and desperation. If you're desperate, you could do anything. And if you live a life of desperation, Sheyiyah cholon shalonu, that it should become our window. Now, so that's what I'm wondering. What's about a window? Window is something you look out of, or you could look in through it. What is it? Ki mi nasan lanu chelik bo, so who gave us a portion in the Samach Mem? Im lo ma'asenu, if it wasn't our deeds. Da samakel. Di'ichu chad mechalon shemaya. This is what we call the Samach Mem. This is the force of the other side. The Gentiles call it the devil, Satan. Our world is Satan, the adversary. He's the automatic wall that you have to bounce off of to get through this life. And he says that the Samach Mem is actually one of the window. It is a window in heaven. Let's see if we get any kind of explanation of what a window of heaven does. He says, Shehem kochos shel psachim v'cholonos, which are the powers of doorways and windows, l'hamshachos hashpa'aso, to allow his shefa to come into the world. That is the shefa of the other side, the shefa of the enemy, the shefa of the Satan. V'aldav al zeh ne'emar ki gever yichye v'lo yira mavis. Is it possible that a man could live and not see death? Achash, and then the Matuk adds, Achash shechatu Adam v'Chava. This is after man and woman went off the derech. Let's read a little bit more. We have time, and this is going to be, you could learn this on Tisha B'Av. I got a psak from Rebbe today. This is material could be learned on, listened to on Tisha B'Av. We have time on Tisha B'Av to reflect, and that's what's playing here. So the Zohar goes on. I guess we'll read down below this. We've been doing. It makes it much more continuous. So immediately then, we see that happen with Chava. Chava's Lashon Malchus. that the Shava, that the Nachash had a hold of her. He controlled her. Behitil baz zechama, and he put a certain type of poison into Malchus. Baz nachas kucher berichu lemecheme. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu came down to look. Yara the Kodesh Baruch Hu uliros osam, to see them, v'lahokicham, and to rebuke them, v'lahanisham, and to punish them. Kamosha kosa v'yischabe ha'ada v'ishto, and it says v'yischabe. So yischabe means to, I think it means to hide. The man and the woman hid. Now, this is explained, he says, b'kamavor b'pesuki HaTorah. So Hashem came down to look for them because they took what we call free choice. And they rebelled against the infinite within inside of them. And they decided to work in the libidinal way. See, the whole world is as if you look at the world, you listen to the commercials, you watch what they're trying to do, is all built around libido. What is libido? It means the sexual drive. In Hebrew, it's a taiva. It's a lust. Now, you can't do that all the time, so it takes different forms, but you constantly see it on TV. All the physicality that you constantly see, everything is about physicality. And this society is very, very hard. You have to work to find spirituality. Fortunately, Baruch Hashem, we have the Torah. Zohar goes on and says, Tachazi, come and see. Kodim Shechinah, before Adam and Eve sinned, that is, Adam and Chava, Chosach Shechinah Atara al Roshechem, Nechiyos B'Shvilam Shura al Ha'olam. So the Torah was at their crown upon their heads, so that it should be for their sake, because of them, Shura al Ha'olam, dwelling in the world. Ki ein mishkan yoser chashuv, there would be no dwelling place more important. L'hashkina, a home for the Shechinah. Megufa Adam atzmo, more than the body of the man himself. Now, the truth is that the Shechinah wants to be in our bodies. Gotta let it in. We have to let it in. Kamosha Kosev, like it's written like this, V'ya'al ma'ala v'elokem mekudayma, that Hashem brought this name Elokim, and like that on top of him. What does this mean? So I guess over here, Elokim normally means Lashon Din. Kamosha Kosev v'ya'al ma'ala elokem mekudayma. Ki ein mishkan yoser chashuv l'hashkina begufa Adam atzmai. V'yal me'alav elokim, and took the Elokim, v'yal me'alav took it off of him. Ukadayma, let's see what that means. But since the sin came back, shechatu, as if to say, tash kocho, shall the Shechinah lost strength. Vistalkas v'lo shlitas. V'nistalkas dachalka lamala, and she left. She left the physical world. V'lo shalta od al ha'olam, and she no longer had shlita in the world. The world is out of control. Ki nislavish haguf, because the clothes inside of the body, shachai mashkana shal Shechinah, what used to be the abode, the home of the Shechinah, it's now beklipos. It's now in falseness. False ideas. Ideas that we could be Gentiles. Ideas that we can eat and live like Gentiles and be happy with the Gentiles, just like different, they're Italians, they're Norwegians, they're blacks, all different kinds of Gentiles. And we could be like them. This is being shaltu beklipos. V'shaltu bo hasamach mem and the polonis. Now, notice we don't pronounce this name. It's the name of the taiva itself that the female has. That the magnetic taiva of the female. That's the way to say it. V'shal debur hasamach ben baplonis. So he said, v'zeh hoya churban mikdash Shechinah. This is what happened when the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed. V'chein, so therefore, v'chud shebarichu hu shari, because the Kodesh Baruch Hu begins, v'kodesh Baruch Hu shehu zer anpin, histgil l'chkone. She left. Now she leaves. Zer anpin leaves too. He's inside of her. And he came down and he begins to cry. V'ama Eichah, kari aye ko. Where is this ko? Which is this yichud? Shuhu osius a ko. Where is ko? He said before, previously, it refers to the 25 letters of the Shema Yisrael, which is the Shechinah, the Shechinah coming into yichud. A, Aleph, Yud, and ko. Aye, right? Ko. Dahainu ma tehei minah. Ma tehiyah min ko shehi Shechinah. What will happen for this ko, which is the Shechinah? Shal tenu secha adimena. Kevin shekoach hashlita. Mercy no longer has the opening to the higher worlds, the worlds of blessings. Kevin shekoach hashlita, her ability to control that, husra mimeno, has been removed from her. Last one, it says like this. Ov hocho, also here. B'churban bei mikdasha, in the destruction of this temple. Afkan b'churban beis mikdash, this is shol tanusa adimeno. So this is what happened. The ability to be able to direct Rachmanis into the world was removed. Hashlita, so he says, Mina husrach hashlita min Shechinah. The Shechinah was her control was taken away. V'kudra barichu shara the misped and the Kodesh Baruch, who ultimately wanted nothing more than to give to her. Vaza Kodesh Baruch Hu hiskil the haspid, he began to eulogize. And he says this, these are the words of Zer Anpin, Kodesh Baruch Hu. Eichah, Hainu, Aye, where is Ko? What's going to become of her? Matihi Mashkina Hanikros Ko. This is our position here on the 6th day of the 6th day of the 9 days. And this is the year 5785.